trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made strong.
His unimaginable greatness. This week, God revealed the most amazing thing to me, His greatness. You know that moment when you know something and you're just so certain about the fact, but then something happens and you end up fully understanding it or understanding it better when you thought that you already knew? Well, that was confusing. I'll just tell you all about it. Basically, this week, I had a really deep conversation with a close friend of mine. I think we talked for a whole hour about God's presence within our difficult situations. While I vented to her, she made some points about God's goodness that made me realize just how great He is. I've always known that God is amazing and all-powerful, but as we talked and talked, she told me that God can erase all bad history in a person's life. In the back of my head, I suppose I knew it was possible because I know that God can do the impossible. However, when something that came into my life that seemed impossible, it was harder to just think, oh yeah, God can erase that. He can renew it. There's a song that I've sung in Hispanic churches that says, Renuévame, Señor Jesús, ya no quiero ser igual. And this translates to, renew me, Lord Jesus, I don't want to be the same. Every time I've sung that song, I've thought about it as in, I don't want to cuss anymore, or I don't want to be so selfish, but never have I ever thought that it meant, make me a new creation. So when my friend and I had this incredible conversation, and she said that God can erase someone's past and make them completely new, it hit me hard. It was really complicated for me to understand, and sometimes if I think about it, it's still hard to understand, but that's because He does the humanly impossible. This means it should be very difficult for us to understand God's plans, because if we always understood, then there'd be no reason for us to trust, and faith would just be this easiest thing to have. God shows up in the most impossible ways, and it is so crazy, so incomprehensible. I'm working on understanding God's plans and being okay with what He has in store for me and what He wants to do in my life. What do you need to do better to understand God's greatness? Oh, how abundant is your goodness, which you have stored up for those who fear you, and worked for those who take refuge in you, in the sight of the children of mankind.